Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and oh my goodness, do the left eat their own, because apparently Mark Hamill, of Star Wars fame, playing the Joker, famous Twitter leftist, is being accused of liking one of J.K. Rowling's transphobic tweets. You know, J.K. Rowling, the woman that everyone grew up idolizing, loving her books, at least if you're part of my generation, couldn't get enough of, then all of a sudden on Twitter, she said a couple things that were completely justified, such as women are biologically women, and there's not really a change to that, and all of a sudden the internet started attacking her for it. I mean, a pretty based opinion, and you know, if I had to say so myself. And at the end of the day, she's still a pretty hardcore feminist. So, like I said, the left eat their own. Because now Mark Hamill's getting dragged into this. Let's see what has to be said. How can Luke Skywalker defend himself from this ongoing enemy, the people? Mark Hamill, one of the internet's absolute favorite celebrities, has unfortunately found himself in the black books after he was noticed to have liked a typically transphobic tweet from the typically transphobic J.K. Rowling. She's not transphobic. I don't know where this narrative comes from. She acknowledges and understands science. If that is what passes for transphobic, then I guess I am transphobic. I guess the vast majority of 98% of people on this planet are transphobic. Look, even some trans people I know have acknowledged, like, yeah, no, biologically, I know I'm not this, because that's just how this science works. But anyway, J.K. Rowling's fall from grace has been a spectacular one to behold. Seen as an icon of literature and progressive politics for as much of the 2000s and early 2010s, her consistently harmful transphobic rhetoric has completely overshadowed her in the modern day. This trans-exclusionary radical feminist, TERF, has made it clear that she has little to no respect for trans lives, repeatedly alienating them and making donations to transphobic groups. Yes, please, give examples. I want you to give examples. You can't, because there aren't any. She's not, saying she had no respect for trans lives. In fact, she said the opposite on multiple occasions, repeatedly alienating them. Look, if they feel alienated because they cannot handle truth, then I apologize. That is a them issue, not a problem with J.K. Rowling, who, again, isn't that great of an individual herself, but whatever. And making donations to transphobic groups, show me. Tell me what groups, show me these donations. And if Mark Hamill is such a beloved and beautiful, fantastic individual, why are you not granting him a pass on this one thing? So he liked a tweet. You gonna let 40 years of how much you adored this man be ruined because of one click of a button, or one click of a little thumbs up on his cellular device? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. This is from We Got This Covered, if I didn't make it clear earlier. And if anyone was wondering if they have a bias, I think hearing the terminology they're using in this article is proof enough they got a small bias. Unfortunately, it looks as though the Star Wars icon Hamill has been drawn into the transphobic orbit of author J.K. Rowling. I wonder if they used orbit intentionally because he's from Star Wars, which takes place in space. Otherwise, it was just a poor attempt at a joke. Otherwise, it's a nice little coincidence. J.K. Rowling mocked transgender newsreader India Willoughby, who asserted she'll be more of a woman than Rowling will ever be. Rowling says citation needed, because when you're known as being transphobic, you may as well commit to the bit. To be fair, she's right though. Where's the citation? Because yeah, India Willoughby is trans. And at the end of the day, that means on her insides, at the biological level, at the cellular level, she's still got the male stuff, as opposed to Rowling, who is full-on biologically female. So, no, I get what India was trying to do, but it just doesn't work. You're trying to insult someone, but you can't insult someone but be on the losing side factually. It doesn't work when the individuals that are pro-fact are gonna take the side of the person you don't like. At this point, people like me, who don't even like J.K. Rowling, I don't like J.K. Rowling, I've never really cared about Harry Potter, that's not true. I used to love Harry Potter, I fell out of love with it very fast. Point is, I don't like J.K. Rowling, I don't like Harry Potter, and yet I find myself defending her because you other people are just so dumb. Considering how often Hamill is seen as a progressive icon and an LGBTQ+ ally, it's disconcerting to see him, as well as many, many other big names, continue to allow Rowling's opinion at the time of day also seems to support it. Willoughby's original tweet is also clearly parodying typical TERF talking points, with her showing the stupidity of appeals to authority around gender and sex and how invasive it is of personal lives. Essentially, Willoughby is expressing how it's absurd trans people constantly have to justify their existence and their gender being real when cisgender people do not. First of all, 98% of the population, if not more, is cisgender. You don't have to, justify their existence to the other 98% of individuals that are just like them. So that's one part of it. But the other part is no one cares. That's the thing, is the majority of people truly don't care whether you're trans, whatnot, until you make a big deal of it. And it's annoying. Man, if someone walked up to me and I didn't know they were trans, they didn't feel the need to announce it, whatever, then that's fine. I don't care. We can still go bowling. We can still go to the gun range. We can still read comic books. We can still play video games. Whatever it is that you're into that, I might have a shared common interest with, by all means, let's do it. But the moment you start, throwing a fit and being like, oh, well, take it easy on me, I'm not very good at video games because I'm trans, or, bowling isn't really my weakness because it's my strength because I'm taking hormones because I'm trans. Like, okay, dude, what am I supposed to call you? We were having a good time. Why you gotta bring stuff down by just dropping stuff that, frankly, you and I don't care? If it is normal, if this is your gender, if this is normal, whatever, then treat it like it's normal. I don't go around being like, you know what, I love going to the gun range because I'm a man. I love getting video games because I'm a man. Normal people don't talk about, their gender and whatnot. So transgender people shouldn't either if you want it to be normal. If you want to normalize something, act normal. It's that simple. And frankly, normal is overrated. I'm not saying you have to act normal, that everyone should be normal. Like, in my opinion, normal is overrated. But just don't act like you're anything special if you don't want this to be seen as anything special. You trying to justify your existence is it's like your entire identity. It's your way of saying, oh, here's something about me that you'll never have. I'm so special. Hoo. Like, we don't care, man. We just want to bowl. Knock pins down, please. It's insane that my existence annoys two people on Twitter who between them have a combined Twitter following of 30 million people. That's nuts, isn't it? Like, there was no need to make this tweet. This tweet didn't need to exist. India Willoughby is the instigator here. Why J.K. Rowling is taking the heat, why she's being presented to the bad guy, I don't know. This was the tweet. This was an instigative tweet. She said something. This is another combative, instigative tweet. You could have left it at this. You could have left it here, but whatever. It's not the first time Hamill has been embroiled in controversy like this, with him previously liking problematic and downright transphobic tweets from Rowling. He apologized in 2014 for his ignorance surrounding one of his likes, but you have to wonder why he continues to like Rowling's troubling rhetoric while pleading ignorance. Okay, let's see. Is this the... Ignorance is no excuse, but I liked the tweet without understanding what the last line or hashtags meant. It was the first 4 lines I liked, and I didn't realize it had any transphobic connotation. Now, if I remember right, this is not a transphobic tweet. Let's go through it. Dress however you please. Call yourself whatever you like. Sleep with any consulting adult who will have you. Live your best life in peace and security. But force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real. Yeah, that's not transphobic. That is something that happened. People will get fired, they get removed from their jobs, they get called out on social media, whatnot, for acknowledging science, biology, something that we have understood for years upon years at the cellular level. So, yes, this is not a transphobic tweet. In fact, it's a very inclusive and progressive tweet. This is a tweet that I completely agree with. I agree with the first 4 lines, is what Hamill says. Yeah, because the first 4 lines are fine. They're legitimate, good advice for any consenting adult. This is the sort of progressivism that I personally can get behind. This, but force women out of their jobs for stating that sex is real, is something that I acknowledge happens in reality and shouldn't be happening, because women who are biologically female stating, I'm biologically female, shouldn't be a crime. And stating that, hey, if you want to call yourself a woman, I'll acknowledge that. I'll call you Amanda instead of Jerry or whatever. But also acknowledging that at the end of the day, scientifically, biologically, you're not a woman. But I'm not going to be a douche. I'm not going to call you a dude. I'm not going to call you Jerry or whatnot. That's also fine. You can't let people live in a fantasy world where science isn't real. Hopefully it's all just a big mistake, but Hamill should know better. Hamill should know better. This dude who got made famous by playing a laughing clown that beats up a mentally ill dude who dresses as a bat and holds laser swords and goes and fights big black guys in space. Like, if we're going to be explaining Batman and Star Wars poorly, he should know better. The dude's a clown. He's a professional clown. All these actors are professional clowns. And you know what? That's fine. I love movies. I love actors. I mean, the entirety of my channel is based around pop culture. I wouldn't be doing this sort of thing if not for individuals like Mark Mark Hamill. But the fact that he's being held to such a golden standard and that, oh, hopefully it's a big mistake, he should know better. The dude's been a professional clown for the better part of 50 years. Maybe we should report on, like children starving in Africa or people getting, bombed under drone strikes. Like news that actually matters rather than you trying to sow this division. Who cares if Mark Hamill liked a tweet? I mean, are you jokering me? I don't know if that joke's gonna land, but I needed something. Anyway, he may not be aware of Willoughby being transgender, but even then, context clues exist considering Rowling spends much of her time on Twitter being, well, transphobic. Hamill is a prolific Twitter user, nearly always giving his opinion and arguing his point. Perhaps he'll address this in a future tweet. And look, that's all for that one. Guys, this is what I mean when I say the left eat their own. There's now an entire article being written about Mark Hamill liking a tweet. That's how much they want to cancel not only right-wing conservative people, not only people who are down the middle and centrist like myself, but literally even people who are not as far to the left as they want them to be. J.K. Rowling is very far left. Mark Hamill, dare I say, is even further left. But because he hit a like button, because he clicked something on his little pocket computer, they want to cancel the dude. Now, frankly, I don't want to see him canceled. I don't exactly like Mark Hamill, but I'm very anti-cancel culture. But the point is, why do you want to cancel your own over something so small when there are bigger fish to fry? Like, you would think that if this article came out and then there's something to cover about, I don't know, Ron DeSantis or the Speaker of the House Republican dude or like Donald Trump, even though people need to stop being so obsessed with him. Like, there's so many right-wing people that a left-wing media outlet can go after, but they're so entrenched in their own cultural war. They're so deranged. They've been telling themselves this lie for so long, they actually believe it, that now they would rather go after their own instead of the people that are considered on the opposite team. When one person steps slightly out of line, probably, maybe even by accident, it's hilarious. Don't get me wrong, it is hilarious to see, but it's freaking clown world in the grand scheme of things, and as much as I love the hilarious cringe that comes from stuff like this, I do hope for an age where it stops and we can get back to being, normal. I know I said normal was overrated earlier, but frankly, I'm wanting a little bit of normalcy after garbage like this, but that's just my take on it. Tell me what you think. Do you think that I'm a transphobic POS because of what I said about J.K. Rowling, or do you think that I'm, a sane, rational individual who's just wanting some normalcy and doesn't care? Be trans if you're trans, be cis if you're cis, just shut up and play some video games like the rest of us want to do. That's my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below, or you can let me know on Twitter where you can follow me at BoltTheWord. And please check out the back catalog and subscribe. We got plenty of other videos on past nerdy news stories. We got everything from Magic the Gathering, Dungeons & Dragons, Star Wars, anime, you name it, you can find it here in the Nerdosphere. So please subscribe because this has been Words of Paradise.